The animation story began with a young girl named Lara in an intense situation as she ran for her life. Just as they chased Lara, she ran into a dead end, but this wasn't enough to stop her. As she flew across to the other end, she brought out her map and continued her journey. It was indeed a scary and risky one. Lara finally arrived at her destination called the House of the Jaguar. She informed Roth that the House of the Jaguar is real, and Lara was told to pinpoint her location so he would be able to meet her. In the evening, Lara continued her exploration but mistakenly slipped, but fortunately for her, she didn't fall into the trap that was set, but this was just a taste of what would come later. Lara continued her exploration and mistakenly put her foot in the wrong ground, making it open and dropping her into the underground floor, which was filled with water. Lara, now eager to escape due to lack of oxygen, then found a huge alligator inside the ocean with her, so she immediately ran for safety. But unfortunately for her, she was caught by the leg by the alligator. Lara, being a strong lady, easily walked out alive. She got to her destination and wishes her dad was with her to see what she had accomplished. So after, a man walked toward her and asked if she killed the alligator. The two hugged each other. Apparently, his name is Roth, the man who has Lara to pinpoint her location from earlier. They both discuss about the mysterious box named El Regalo de los Dioses Lara had found. It a mystery box which legend believes that any man who touches it instantly becomes wealthy. Lara at this point is now convinced that they aren't supposed to be touching it or taking it after seeing the ancient carvings on the walls. However, Rothby believes they are only mere carvings and managed to convince Lara. And then the two head out. Just as they were about to leave, the men chasing Lara earlier then surrounded both Lara and Roth. They proceeded to warn them about the danger of taking the mystery box, as it will only bring death and destruction. They gave them two options: either they leave it or they eliminate them both. Lara immediately noticed that these people aren't just commoners or marauders but protectors. Roth isn't having all of that, and a battle ensues. Roth and Lara fought for their life, and this battle became tense, which led Roth to eliminate one of the protectors. Lara is traumatized about what had happened, but just then, Roth told her it was him or them. 3 years later, Lara is in a battleground and was beaten mercilessly, but fortunately for her, she won the fight. Just as she left with her opponents as they both cheerfully celebrated Christmas, Lara then received a call from Jonah regarding when she was coming home and not taking the blame for the death of Roth. But she hung up the call and declined his offer to return home. Lara entered a building and went on to pick her group pictures and had a flashback on what happened and how they blamed her for the death of Roth. Just then, her friends walked in and was surprised by her arrival, but she informed them that she only came back to the town to burn down all of her dad and Roth belongings. At night, Lara had a tough time sleeping as she kept on having flashes of how Roth had died and how he saved her from the hands of those protectors. She also got blamed by Reyes for the death of Roth, as she was the reason they all came for that adventure. At the British Museum, they had a ceremony about auctioning all of Lara's dad findings and artifacts. Lara isn't feeling good by all this, but Zip told her to stay calm. A man walked towards Lara and told her all she was doing isn't charity, but she is simply just giving everything away. After their conversations, Lara left the event and went into a rack ship and began to feel bad. Just then, she saw a shadow and immediately followed it. She approached the thief and a battle ensues between the both of them. The thief took off with his bike. With same energy, Lara also followed him. She called Zip to track the thief as all their collections has a tracking devices on them. Zip from the British Museum gave Lara directions and guide on how to get the thief. She got rid of her vehicle and took a bicycle as the car can't be used for village road. Unfortunately for Lara, she lost him, and the thieves got into the boat to escape, but just then, he revealed himself as the man who met her from earlier. Lara head back home and is very intrigued by the fact that he stole the box when there are other artifacts that are worth more. Lara proceeded to study more about the box. Jonah met Zip at the house to ask about Lara's well-being. Lara comes out all dressed up and informed the boys she is going after the thieves as this was the last thing she and Roth found together. Zip gave her direction of where her box is. Meanwhile, the thief now on his boat was able to open the box. However, with the stone, he controlled a young boy to go kill the captain. Just as he was about to do so, he stopped him while also saying, "This is the dawn of a new era." Lara continued her quest to find the thief who stole her box. On her way, Lara get informed about the shrine to the great Emperor Tianqi, who is said to be out into the forest. The people believe the gods gave him the powers to make China great by gifting him a magical ruby, but a fox spirit named Daji seduced him and took his powers and nearly even destroyed China with it. Just then Lara realized that the thief is also after the ruby box. LARA goes to ask the villages about her way around the jungle and sacred shrine, but they weren't willing to talk to her. But to our surprise, Jonah then came to her rescue. They agreed to help her if she could help them find their missing 6 children. They went on their journey with the old woman directing them. They came across a huge hole and LARA proceeded to enter the pit hole. Jonah went after her soon after. Jonah continued his walk, but felt something mysterious behind him. She informed Jonah about her father's findings on the box. He believes the box had a sister named the Ruby Box. They came across Tang Dynasty mercenaries, which was dated to the 7th century. However, something mighty and mysterious then began to attack them. They both ran for their lives. Fortunately for them, they were safe and continued their journey. They came across a mysterious place, a shrine, in search of the kid. LARA and Jonah went further into the temple and are shocked to find the second box, but nothing was inside the box as someone had stolen the ruby stone in it. Just then, everything began to destroy and flame. LARA went into the place further in search of the children, and fortunately for her, she found them all. LARA was unable to get the children out, but just then, LARA realized that the goddess buried in the temple took the children and other for people to come find her and the children as she was asking for help. Immediately, LARA released her from her coffin, and all the children gained consciousness afterwards. The whole place is now filled up with lava as they all cross safely. So just then, LARA summoned the goddess and requested for her help, which she fortunately did so by showing LARA the way out. Just as she leaves the temple, the goddess appeared towards her and showed her gratitude. They arrived at the village and everyone is happy to see their children. LARA informed them that Huli Jing isn't a monster and she is now at peace now. They gifted LARA a gift for her journey ahead. They all left and Jonah is pleased by what she had done by saving the children. Meanwhile, LARA insisted to go find the remaining piece of the stones. Just as they sailed their boat, a loud sound occurred and the water now above them. This was a chaotic struggle for both LARA and Jonah as they battle for safety. After the whole incident, LARA gained consciousness and began crying and digging to find Jonah. She found his bids, indicating he was dead, and began to cry just immediately. The thief placed a knife on LARA's neck. LARA hit him on the face before throwing away the box. This gave an opportunity for LARA to escape. LARA called Zip to inform him that Jonah is now dead. Zip asked LARA to get back home, but she told him that she has to get to the root of all this. LARA called Sam and hung up soon after. Meanwhile, Zip gave LARA a box, went into the building, an international guild that restores artifacts, repairs them, and return them to their native homes if they've been stolen. LARA met with Eva and brought out the Sword of Divinity and told her she needed an information on the peril stones. Eva informed both LARA and Zip that the peril stones is one of the oldest legends in China and before life. There was chaos and order as they were constant war until the goddess Nuwa tamed them at the peak of Kunlun Mountain, and in this balance the world was created. However, mankind became greedy and violent, thus tipping the scale in favor of chaos. So in saving the world, Nuwa trapped mankind's 4 greatest evil into peril, consisting of power, wrath, greed, and betrayal. After a long discussion, Eva believed this is just a myth. Meanwhile, Zip and LARA continued their investigation, which led them to a young girl, whose name is Elvin Kaya, a infamous warlord. LARA found a way to penetrate into the building with the help of Zip. Just as she went into a restaurant for a cup of tea, the thief from earlier them approached her. He apologized for stealing her stone and also introduced himself as Charles Devereaux. He also told her about her father's death and society called the Trinity, as it was a secret society that manipulated the world for monetary gain, and then they killed LARA's father because he got in their way. Similar to him too, they also killed his father, but a society called the Light in Paris was responsible for this. He tried convincing LARA to join him, but this didn't go smoothly as LARA stormed out of the store. On her way, she got some information about where the missing stone would be, but nearby, Charles eavesdropped using the power of the stone. LARA sneaked into a secured base, Kaya's home, with the help of Zip, in search of the stone. She entered into Kaya's room and found a safe. LARA forcefully opened it, but just then, Kaya walked in with her friend who is worried that it's snowing outside in summer period. Kaya believes it is just minor climate change. LARA immediately noticed that Kaya is putting on the stone and proceeded to set her plans on motion by releasing her caged tiger. Just as Kaya is distracted, LARA stole the stone from her, but the stone had began to possess her, as she brutally eliminated all the guard. So after, Kaya approached LARA and a battle was about to start. Fortunately for LARA, she put the stone into the ruby box, making Kaya get her sanity back. Kaya ordered LARA to leave with the stone immediately and doesn't want it anymore. Meanwhile, just as LARA got home, She found Zip on the floor and rushes, but only for her to get hit at the back by Jonah under the possession of Charles Devereaux. Jonah stole the stone from her and gave it to Charles, and he began to merge both stone together, which led to him exploding. Few moments after the blast, Lara gained consciousness and is saddened by the destruction that Charles had done by combining the stones. The volcano nearby then erupts. Charles Devereaux is now disrupting the balance of the world. By messing with the stone, he is unleashing chaos. Lara told Zip to go home as she can't be protecting herself and also protecting Zip. However, she proceeded on another journey to find Devereaux, but first she must break into Camila Roth's home to get some information that could help her on her mission to stop Charles Devereaux. Lara also found more information about the peril box, but just then Camila Roth found her. The two both discussed about life after they both parted ways. Lara went to take her bath while she and Camila discussed more about the Light, which is a secret society that originated in Paris. The two figured out that religious and political leaders have been disappearing. Camila stated that she has been tracking them, which her whole research leads her to the same shadow group. After a long conversations they had, Lara figured out that the Light are removing people who are more powerful and influential than them. They both agreed to go on this little adventure together. Camila and Lara got to their destination and began their hunt for more information. They found that where they were was a front, so they both proceeded to find a secret door or passage. Lara eventually found one, but once she was in, she lost connection with Zip on the other end. Meanwhile, Lara and Camila catch up, but just then, thousands of bat came out. Fortunately for them, it was nothing to be worried about. Lara went further into the underground. She found things as the story were true, the gold peril stone, which was the stone of betrayal. At this moment, something scary attacked Lara and she was taken to her past memory. Suddenly, everywhere began to burn out. Lara found herself face to face with a deadly monster, ready to devour her. The monster manages to push her, which eventually landed her into another dimension of her little self. Camila immediately came to Lara's rescue, and she then informed Camila about Charles Devereaux and his hunt for Stone's peril. Luckily for them, they found the pictures of those who were assassinated. Lara believes Charles would be hunting for the gold stone next. Lara and Camila discussed about their childhood, and they figured out that Roth must have put a misunderstanding between them, and they both reconcile. Camila told Lara not to make the same mistake as her dad did, and the people we love are the treasure one would never find in the tomb, before giving her a gift. Meanwhile, Charles and Jonah continue their journey. The Season 1 Episode 4 of Tomb Raider The Legend of Lara Croft then came to an end. The Episode 5 to 8 would be uploaded soon. So kindly subscribe if you enjoy animated recap like this, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.